Now, fears of a protracted India-Pakistan conflict are raising concerns among regional and global powers as India prepares its response for a terrorist attack in Kashmir that killed 26 innocent civilians. Global powers are urging both sides to tone down the rhetoric. In a diplomatic push to ease tensions, Iran has offered to mediate between India and Pakistan, referring to the centuries-old civilizational ties between the countries. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi described both India and Pakistan as brotherly neighbors and said Tehran is ready to assist in easing the situation. While Islamabad has welcomed Tehran's offer, New Delhi is yet to respond. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is set to visit Pakistan and India on Monday and Tuesday. Araghchi will meet his Pakistani counterpart Ishaq Dar. Both leaders are expected to hold talks on current regional situation, particularly on the tensions between India and Pakistan. After concluding his visit to Islamabad, Araghchi is scheduled to visit New Delhi, where he will hold meetings with India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. New Delhi has said Araghchi's visit was planned long before the Pahalgam attack. As things stand, it is still early to say if Iran will play a part in the mediation between India and Pakistan. Lean O'Donnell is a journalist and also an author. She's now joining us live on this broadcast. Lean, thank you very much for making time for us and welcome to WION World is One. First of all, I want to hear from you. Do you support Iran's measure to act as a mediator between India and Pakistan at this stage?
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Iran's historically maintained working relationships with both India and Pakistan, which allows it to position itself as a relatively neutral player here. It doesn't have a direct stake in Kashmir, and its calls for regional stability give some weight to its role as mediator. But Iran is also pursuing its own regional interests, which could complicate any perception of its neutrality here. Its mediation offer is likely driven by broader strategic goals as it faces international isolation, as you know, particularly from the United States and its Western allies. So playing the role of peace broker in a volatile region like South Asia, and at a time like now, certainly enhances its image as a regional, responsible regional actor, if you like. It also strengthens its ties with both Islamabad and New Delhi, helping Iran avoid becoming overly dependent on either one of them as a diplomatic partner. So complicating it might be India's historic resistance to third-party mediation in its disputes with Pakistan, especially over Kashmir, because it's always insisted that this is a bilateral matter. But Pakistan is generally more open to international involvement. So while Iran's intentions may be constructive, the asymmetry in its role might limit any practical feasibility as mediator.
Let me ask you this, because Iran is the first country to send its foreign minister to both countries, India and Pakistan. The other, or the rest of the West, have only sent statements to the Prime Minister and the President of India and also the Prime Minister of Pakistan. But in your own view, which includes the United States, before I ask this question, which includes the United States, which says it will back India, but at the same time, it's arming Pakistan. But in your own view, who do you think will be the state or the country that both countries will listen to?
Well, you know, any mediation offer would need to consider how the major players like China and Russia and, of course, the United States view Iran's involvement in South Asia. So, for example, India's deepening strategic ties with the United States and Iran's tensions with the West could make India wary of Iranian involvement. So you can view, I think, Iran's involvement as a diplomatic gesture aimed at enhancing its regional role and projecting soft power. And while symbolically important and potentially useful for back-channel communication, it's not likely to result in any formal negotiations unless both India and Pakistan show political will for third-party engagement, which is unlikely.
Lynn O'Donnell, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you, Eric.